The World Cup draw is upon us, guys, and for the first time in like 24 years, it actually matters because Scotland are going to be there. At least in my opinion. I've got faith, I've got hope. Steve Clarke has done enough for me to decide that Scotland are going to be there. The only thing is we have to beat a couple of diddy teams on the way called Ukraine and Wales. When we get to play them, I don't know, but I'm confident when we do play them. I'm confident not only will we beat them, but we'll comfortably beat them and book our place at the World Cup. Therefore, today's draw is massive because we will find out which three teams Scotland are going to be drawn alongside in our World Cup group. I'll come back, guys, to the channel then. So today we're just going to go through basically the entire World Cup here. We're going to look at the draw. We're going to see who is obviously in each pot, who Scotland can play. We're going to look at who's qualified. And yeah, guys, that's it. So the draw for today's World Cup, I believe, is 5 PM UK time. If you don't live in the UK, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know, grab a calculator or something and work it out for yourself. But for the UK residents, I believe it's 5 PM. So you can pretty much watch this anywhere. I think there's quite a lot of YouTube channels showing it, like Sky Sports Football showing it. FIFA, I think, are showing it. If not, you can probably watch it on TV, Sky Sports News, some shit like that. There'll be somebody showing it. I mean, it'll be hard not to see this World Cup draw. Anyway, who has qualified? Let's have a look at all the teams. So you've got Qatar, also the home nation. They have qualified, unfortunately. I don't think the World Cup should be taking place in Qatar. Don't think Qatar should be hosting it. I would have nothing to do with it. See these Middle Eastern countries, I would actually have legit nothing to do with them. I would just... Can you say wipe them off the face of the earth or something? You know, like, come on, let's be real, man. Fuck me. Stay away for these Middle Eastern shiteholes. But yeah, Qatar's hosting it. Not a lot we can do about it. Just have to accept it. Group J winners were Germany. Group F winners, which featured Scotland, were Denmark. So Germany were the quickest team to qualify, followed by Denmark. So all these teams qualified in October. It just means that, you know, they were pretty dominant in their groups and that they amassed a points total that was uncatchable earlier than pretty much everyone else. Brazil were the first CONMEBOL team to qualify. I believe they topped their group. They've done it pretty easily. Then France, Belgium, Croatia, Spain, Serbia, England, Switzerland, and the Netherlands completed all the UEFA qualifiers. So they were all group winners. Obviously, we know, I think Switzerland finished top of their group, which meant Italy did not make it. So, yeah, strange that Italy didn't make it. For the second World Cup in a row, we won't see the Italians. The European champions, that is very strange. It is weird. Very weird. Then we had Argentina, the runners-up in their section. Moving to Asia now. We have Iran qualifying. South Korea, Japan, Saudi Arabia. You know, it's like, see, let's be real, see the continent of Asia, there's like a good side, and then there's a fucking absolute shite side, you know? You got like the good half, and it's got like, you know, nice countries like Japan and South Korea, and stuff like that, and, you know, Hong Kong and whatever, all those kind of countries, and then you have, you know, then you have, yeah, land of Muhammad, the Middle Eastern shitholes that you know, pretty much ruin the world. So, unfortunately, Saudi Arabia and Iran have qualified. They won't be bringing the World Cup home with them. Maybe they'll be bringing nuclear weapons, but they won't be bringing any World Cups. That's for sure. Then we move into the South American section. Ecuador and Uruguay claiming 4th and 3rd place respectively. Canada were the first team from the North American section to get through. So, surprised that they won that. Finishing ahead of the United States and Mexico. So, I mean, that's strange. I have heard that Canada have been improving as a footballing nation, but for them to beat the USA and Mexico is pretty impressive. And it'll be interesting to see how Canada get on. Then we move to Africa. Ghana get through. Senegal get through. We had Tunisia, Morocco, Cameroon get through. And then in the UEFA second round winners, it was Portugal and Poland that get through. And then finally, moving back to North America, we have the United States and Mexico completing the 3 teams from the North America to make it to the World Cup. So that means there's 3 more slots available. I believe, obviously, we're one of them. Then I think we've got the New Zealand. I believe they won the Oceania section, so they take on, I believe, the 5th place team from the South American section. And then I think there's a 4th team that won the North American section, or the team that finished 4th in the North American section will take on a team that came 5th in the Asian section. So that is the 3 final playoffs. Who will make it? I don't know. It's going to be Scotland and 2 other teams. We'll find out, I guess. Anyway, let's move on then to the pots. So far, we don't know all the pots, and they might change based on who's qualifying. But pot 1 will not change. Pot 1, the top seeds for the tournament is going to be Qatar, Brazil, Belgium, France, Argentina, Spain, and Portugal. So, and of course England. England are not mentioned here, but it is their group, I guess. So, it is what it is. Who would out of this 8 teams? I mean, honestly, there's like, they're all good. I'm not going to say any of them's pish because they're not. But I mean, Qatar just do not belong in this pot, and obviously we want Qatar. Or maybe we don't want Qatar because they're not a footballing nation, and do we really want to play Qatar? If we want to, I suppose if we want to progress, we want Qatar, but if we actually want to compete at a World Cup and play teams that should be at the World Cup, then we probably want to, give us Brazil or something like that. But, I mean, there you go, pot 1, it's pretty much, it's pretty much, you're screwed no matter who you get, unless you get Qatar, then you're having a field day. We're moving on to pot 2. We've got Holland, Germany, Denmark, Switzerland, Croatia, Uruguay, Mexico, USA. Again, very tough pot. There's some stronger teams there than others, but I mean, there's no team in that you would guarantee a win against. If you look at the weakest teams in this group, you're probably thinking, Switzerland, Mexico, USA, and even those teams would not be easy to beat. They're all solid teams. So, but yeah, you would rather get one of them than get, let's say, for example, Germany. We're not going to deny that. Germany are probably the standout team in this group, so we want to avoid Germany if we do get into this. But in terms of who I would like England to get for this group, yeah, give me England, Germany. I think Germany will owe England a bit of revenge after the Euros, so yeah, I would take England getting Germany for sure. Moving on to pot 3. We've got Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, Senegal, and Tunisia. Some solid teams again. Who's the best there? Don't know. Probably Poland, maybe Serbia, South Korea possibly. I mean, Japan's no bad. You've got Senegal, Morocco. You know what? Half of these teams are alright, to be fair. I mean, there's no standout team that you would, fear massively, but there's no one really in this pot that is horrible. Who's the worst team in this pot? Is it maybe Tunisia? Maybe Iran? I'm not too sure. Probably one of those. But again, pot 3, I think Scotland are capable of beating every team in pot 3, no problemo. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if any team for pot 3 beat us, because like I said, they're all solid teams capable of putting in big performances and getting results. So now we move on to pot 4. Let's have a look at pot 4 if I can find it. I fucking lost it. Where did pot 4 go away? Ran away on me. Alright, so pot 4, we've got Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, and Ghana. And then, so there is the other UEFA Intercontinental Playoffs. So it's going to be Wales versus Scotland or Ukraine, Australia or the United Arab Emirates versus Peru, and Costa Rica versus New Zealand. You know what? I think I'd like to see New Zealand at the World Cup. I would take that. 100% I would take that. Whether we get that or not, don't really know. I've got Australia. I'd probably rather Australia. Australia or Peru. I just don't want the United Arab Emirates there. So hopefully they don't make it. Yeah, Scotland. I'll go Scotland, Australia, New Zealand. I think that's probably going to be the 3 teams that get through, or at least the 3 teams that I'd like to get through. So now you can see down the bottom, we have the best and worst case scenario for England. So again, it looks like Sky Sports have just completely given up on Scotland and Wales. Wales are only 1 win away from making it. Scotland are 1 win away from making the final. If Scotland beat Ukraine, we're guaranteed another home nation at the World Cup, which is pretty insane, but it doesn't look like Sky Sports give a shit about that. So yeah, all they care about is England. According to Sky Sports though, England's best case scenario would be England, the USA, Tunisia and Saudi Arabia. Worst case scenario would be England, Germany, Senegal and Canada. I mean, that best case scenario group looks like the type of group I would expect England to get, because they always get favourable groups. They always get easy groups. Apart from last year in the Euros, they got a pretty tough group, and they couldn't beat us, could they? No, even though the other two teams laid down to them, they couldn't beat us. So yeah, guys, that pretty much covers all these sections. The draw, like I said, will be at 5 PM today. I'll be making a video on that once it happens. If I had to pick my best case scenario draw for Scotland, considering that we are in pot 4 and we are going to make it, just no offence Wales or Ukraine, who would I want? In terms of going through, in terms of the easiest group, it's going to be Qatar, followed by, you know what, I probably would have to go USA. Yeah, I'll go USA, even though I think they're decent. I'm going to go USA. Pot 3, I would say Iran. I don't know, I think Tunisia are better than Iran. Shoot me. And then pot 4, we're in pot 4, so we'll get to pick a pot 4 team. So it would be my group, Iran, USA and Qatar. In terms of the worst possible group, I think it would have to be, I would say probably Brazil, Germany, maybe Poland, Brazil, Germany, Poland and us. Maybe. Well, Japan are no bad as well. I don't know. Depends, guys. It depends. Let me know down below. What would be your favourite group for Scotland? What would be your worst case scenario group for Scotland, guys? And that is it for the World Cup draw. We'll be back about 5 PM later tonight to cover the live draw. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's just a shame that we don't know yet whether we're in the World Cup or not. This should all be taken care of. In my opinion, we should have been given a bye against Ukraine. If the war in Ukraine is really as bad as it's been made out to be, if it's as serious as it's been made out to be, then football should be the last thing on the mind of the Ukrainian people. So why not just give us a bye and let us play Wales? Winner takes all. That's what I think should happen. Anyway, that's it, guys. Till next time. Peace.